Kelly Iko of Yahoo Sports had a tweet that went semi-viral in NBA Twitter saying, amidst a rough 4-11 start, Charlotte Hornets star guard LaMelo Ball has grown increasingly frustrated with the organization and is open to a trade. Now, shortly after that, LaMelo quoted this article with a clown emoji, but I thought it was good enough to bring to the show because I guess there's a couple different ways you can kind of look at this. How are y'all feeling about it?
I was kind of like, how can LaMelo be frustrated with the organization if he's a part of the problem? Like, the team hasn't been good, mainly because he's the franchise player and he hasn't been available. So, like, essentially, you can't walk around with your face turned up at everyone else when you are the guy and, like, you aren't available. They can't put their best lineup out there because you're essentially a key part of the lineup. And so without you being there for the last, he's been in the league for, 6 years now? And he's never played a full season or even close to a full season. So, like, how can he walk around frustrated when he's had seasons where he's only played, like, 20 games?
Yeah.
So he's a part of the problem.
It just really didn't add up. So that's why I kind of figured it might be a little shaky in terms of, like, how creditable it might be. But, again, I'm right with D. Mills. Like, I don't think you could ever be in a situation where it's just, like, I'm frustrated in a spot where I'm part of the problem, though.
Yeah, it's like a victim mindset when you're the one causing the issue.
I see what y'all saying.
Yeah.
But also you have to remember that, like, professional athletes are not the most self-aware people. So even though, yes, I would agree, I mean, 51 games, 75 games was just his all-star season. Yeah. 36, 22, 47, and 9 games this year. You've already missed a few. I can't say it's impossible, improbable that this is not true because players just sometimes just don't have the self-awareness to recognize that, yeah. And it is kind of interesting, though, that, like, even though they are not good at 4-11, like, you can look at it and be like, yeah, it's looking good. Yeah. We got a good front office in there. It seems like we have a good coach in there, starting to build an identity, and you want out.
And also you hit on your 2 draft picks from last year.
No, not just 2. They hit at least 3 of them. At least 3 of them.
I think we also have to remember that sometimes the NBA, well, not sometimes, always the NBA is a business. 9 times out of 10, a lot of guys in the business are not making their own decision based fully off of them. Sometimes you have a circle, you have a team, there's narratives. He is a player that I think we all projected to not stay in Charlotte for his entire career. The reason I'm more on LaMelo's side is because I feel like over the summer, I heard LaMelo kind of say that he wanted to be in Charlotte. Like, contrary to popular belief, even though they're not this crazy playoff team and they've had these struggles and he's been hurt, he loves Charlotte and wanted to stay in Charlotte. And I know it's like, what else would he say? But sometimes a quote like that, unprovoked, does mean something because he didn't really have to say that. Yeah. And then I agree with KB. The vibes are kind of high for, like, the first time in a while. You brought in some good draft picks. I think him and Knippel are playing good together. I can see that coexisting. You just got to get Brandon Miller in the mix. And then this is another down year, you have just another segue to add another piece to the pie.
Y'all said,
I don't know.
To what y'all said, are y'all more surprised, or if this situation did arise, would y'all be more surprised if he asked out versus Charlotte being like, okay, it's time to move on from this LaMelo situation?
Yeah, the way I kind of looked at it is, hypothetically, if this is true, it makes it easier on the front office. Yeah. We're like, a lot of times new front offices come in and they want to clean house of what the previous front office has done. And even Charlotte Hornets fans that I know on Twitter having the internal conversation with each other are like, should we keep LaMelo Ball in the first place? And if this is true, it just makes it easy. If LaMelo wants out, then we don't have to think about making the decision because we're going to give him what he wants. But P, I agree with what you're saying, mostly because, again, the vibes feel like it was high. And Charlotte is his city. They let this man run red lights, play go-karts on top of buildings. Like, it really is his city. And a lot of the good PR from it over the offseason, where people are signing contracts and the entire team is there doing the offseason while they sign a contract. I mean, hell, they were just at the Knippel house as an entire team. Yeah. Like, that type of stuff, I don't think that happens, and 24 hours later we hear that the player wants out.
I was just telling that to somebody that I knew like some weeks ago when the Ja Morant stuff first happened, and they were like, man, Ja get traded, Ja this, Ja that. I'm like, I hope not. I hope Ja assess the situation and really think it through, because NBA fans and the media, we don't talk about that part where you are the staple in your community or that city where you've been that guy for years. And that's even goes to the point with the Devin Booker conversations we kept having over the summer. It's like everybody wants to win. Everybody is not going to win. All of these superstar players, all of these top 5, top 10 players, they're not all going to leave with championship rings. It's just the case that it is. So because of that, there is value in being that staple somewhere for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 years. It's I don't know. And then I think about that. Where does LaMelo Ball go?
That was, yeah.
What do they get in return?
Wherever he goes, he's not going to have that same priority status like he does in
Nobody
Charlotte.
does. If Ja Morant gets traded, no matter how big of a star he was, he doesn't really go to, unless these dudes go to the Kings.
The Kings is the number one place for all of these.
Unless these dudes go to the Kings, you're going to play with Giannis.
Yep.
You're going to play with Wemby. You're going to go play with somebody else, and you're going to come into somebody else's thing, and that's way different from any other player.
To the Damian Lillard situation too, and Dame was a little bit different because for the most part, like he's just been healthier than LaMelo.
And their timeline was off, right? They was draft pick, and he's 30 trying to compete.
But as someone who's like LaMelo has been hurt for basically his career, like he's been battling it, going to another team and you get hurt again, they're not going to treat you with that same type of respect that the Charlotte Hornets did.
Well, they're not going to treat you that way to begin with because that's not your play. Like, Damian Lillard walked into Giannis, so regardless if he was healthy or not, it's Giannis' situation.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant went to the Warriors. That was Steph Curry's situation.
It feels like, to put it on some fantasy football stuff, I am way more attached to the players that I draft that day versus somebody I traded for. That guy I traded for, I'll flip him again if necessary, but like I drafted, I don't know, Joe Burrow, like maybe a little bit too early if we think about fantasy football. But I drafted these dudes, so I have a personal attachment to it, and I feel like that's the way it is for real sports too.
Yeah.
So if you just come in, okay, Pierre asked the question, where to? I'm going to name some teams, and y'all just straight up tell me. Don't think about what the trade package, should this team be picking up the phone to even have a conversation about LaMelo Ball? The Toronto Raptors.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
I could see it just because it is starting to play better. But if they want a legit one, then I could see them looking at picking up the phone.
The way that the team is structured, and I've been watching them heavily a lot with Barnes and Ingram, that's the last play type. It's not LaMelo, it's the style that he plays with that I see can come in. I think they need somebody that's going to defend and that can play off of Scotty and Ingram. Because then you bring in LaMelo and what is Scotty? You know what I mean? Like it's going to get very. I think quickly is fine, but they need somebody they need Trey Murphy III. They need OG Anunoby back. They need something like that.
Miami Heat.
No. I'd rather just stick with Tyler Hero.
He makes a great point of sticking with Tyler Hero. The way that this new Miami Heat team is playing, I definitely could see LaMelo in that system. I just can't picture him in Miami.
That's my big thing.
Maybe the Miami Vice jerseys fit LaMelo, but the whole Heat culture and all of that, I don't know. But the way that they playing, I think that's prototypical to how you would want LaMelo Ball to be playing basketball.
With the pace and everything.
I don't think he's a Spo guy either.
That's what I just said. Heat culture.
Oh yeah, true.
Milwaukee Bucks.
No.
Yeah,
I don't think that's something that could convince Giannis to stay.
Damn, you think he's out?
No, I'm just saying, like, realistically, I don't think that's. I think any moves you do now as a Bucks organization, you're trying to convince Giannis to stay, and that's not a move I would think would convince Giannis to stay.
Okay.
I just like the team with Giannis. When Giannis is healthy, I like this less is more, and being able to take advantage of hitting on AJ Green, Ryan Rollins. I think that's better than going out and making another splash.
I'm going to do a quick Western Conference ones. Houston Rockets?
No. He doesn't fit. He's not an Ime
If
guy.
they make a move, they need to make a move to somebody who has won and played at the high level before and not somebody else who's going to be in their first playoff series.
Minnesota Timberwolves?
Sure.
It'd be fun, for sure.
They need something. They need something to spark up.
LA Clippers?
Yes.
No.
Yes. They suck. They garbage. And he's from LA.
He's going to go from garbage to more garbage.
Huh?
He's going to go to garbage to worse garbage.
No, at least he'll be in LA, though.
At
least he'll be at home, though.
He'll be in LA. They got money to spend. Steve Ballmer wants to spend. As we see, they just invested in, and he's never been a part of a team that's willing to invest and have the opportunities that they will have.
Lastly, the ones you mentioned, Sacramento Kings.
No, from their perspective. It's time to double down on being weak and getting draft picks.
And somehow I still feel like they're going to pick up the fall.
Yeah. Ja Morant come available. They're going to pick up that phone.
Yeah, they like desperate. They like thirsty. They fiending.
When we come back, we're going to try to build the next USA Olympic team. Stay tuned.